With our disastrous start to the season so far, I'm not looking forward to this second leg against Jagiellonia.
Penalty to Rangers.
Rangers are 90 minutes away from either keeping our Europa League hopes alive or dropping into the Conference League before the season has even properly got going. We're only one goal behind, we're back at Ibrox, and this tie is there to be won. Normally, I'd be fairly confident going into a situation like this. The problem is, Rangers haven't won a competitive game yet this season, and right now I'm finding it very difficult to trust this team. We lost the first leg in Poland, and the frustrating thing is that we actually got ourselves into the perfect position. We went ahead after only a few minutes, but instead of settling into the game and making Jagiellonia chase us, we managed to completely throw away that advantage. They were level pretty quickly, then suddenly we were 2-1 down. That's what worries me more than anything going into Thursday. It's not necessarily the quality of Jagiellonia, it's what Rangers are capable of doing to themselves. Derek McInnes basically said that after the first game as well. Rangers beat themselves. That's something we simply can't afford to do at Ibrox. We don't need to come flying out desperately trying to score 3 goals in the opening 20 minutes. We're only one behind. Get the first goal and the entire feeling of the tie changes. Jagiellonia suddenly lose their advantage, the stadium comes alive and all the pressure moves on to them. The important thing is making sure we're still in control while we're chasing that goal. That's easier said than done when you look at the way we've defended so far. We've conceded against Dundee United, conceded twice against Jagiellonia, and then conceded twice against Hibs. There always seems to be a moment where we switch off, lose somebody, make the wrong decision, or simply give the opposition an opportunity they shouldn't be getting. Against Jagiellonia, one of those moments could end the tie. If they score first at Ibrox, suddenly we need 2 just to get level on aggregate, and that's when the nerves really start. For me, the biggest priority is patience. That might sound strange when we're going into the game behind, but there's a massive difference between playing with urgency and playing in a panic. Move the ball quickly, get Youssef involved, attack the wide areas and make Jagiellonia defend, but don't start throwing everybody forward and leaving massive spaces behind us. There's plenty of time to turn a 1-goal deficit around. I also want to see a much quicker tempo at home. We've seen Rangers have plenty of the ball already this season without actually doing enough with it. Possession looks lovely on a statistics screen, but I couldn't care less if we've got 70 or 80% of the ball, if we're just moving it from side to side and allowing the opposition to organise themselves. We need to move Jagiellonia around, create gaps and actually attack those gaps when they appear, make them uncomfortable. Yokota's somebody I really want to see involved as much as possible. He's already shown little flashes of what he can give us. He's direct, he wants to attack players and he gives us something slightly different. Against Hibs, I was surprised when he came off because he looked like one of the players most capable of actually creating something. Thursday feels like the sort of night where Rangers need players who are prepared to take somebody on rather than always choosing the safe option. Unfortunately, we're also going into this game with the injury situation suddenly looking a lot worse. Chermiti has suffered a terrible injury and it looks like we're going to be without him for most of the season. Then we've got reports suggesting Rommens could be missing for around 6 to 8 weeks as well. If that's confirmed, we've suddenly lost 2 important players right at the beginning of the season. Chermiti being unavailable obviously changes the attacking options McInnes has for this game as well. This is where somebody has to take responsibility, whether it's Shankland, Miovski or Nadiri leading the line. I don't really care who gets the goal. I just want somebody in that Rangers team to become the player who grabs this tie and drags us through it. We've been waiting for somebody to do that since the competitive game started. Thursday would be a pretty good time to start. The Rommens situation worries me as well, especially when our defence is already struggling for consistency. He was heavily involved in Rangers taking the lead in Poland, getting down that left side and putting the ball into a dangerous area. If he's missing, McInnes has another problem to solve in a defence that doesn't exactly look settled in the first place. That's probably the biggest frustration with the start to this season. Every time it feels like we might be getting closer to finding the right team, something else happens. I know people will say McInnes needs time, and I completely agree with that. He's inherited a squad that still needs work. There have been plenty of changes, and you're not going to build a completely new Rangers team after a few competitive matches. That's what makes Thursday so important. We need something positive to actually kickstart this season. A convincing performance and qualification could completely change the mood around Rangers. Suddenly McInnes has his first competitive victory. We're into the Europa League playoff, and maybe some confidence starts appearing in this team. Lose it and we're dropping into the Conference League with no competitive victories and a support that's already getting extremely frustrated. That would be a horrible way to begin August. Ibrox has a massive role to play as well. European nights at home are supposed to be occasions where Rangers can turn these sorts of ties around. One goal is nothing. Get an early goal, get the crowd involved, and Jagiellonia will know immediately that the second leg is going to be completely different from the first. The players have to give the supporters something to react to though. You can't expect the home crowd to create the performance for you. The aggression and intensity have to come from the pitch first. Most importantly, we have to stop gifting teams goals. If Jagiellonia produce a brilliant piece of football and somebody sticks one into the top corner from 25 yards, sometimes you just have to accept it. What we can't accept is another cheap goal caused by poor marking, a bad decision or somebody switching off. Rangers gave themselves the perfect start in Poland and still somehow ended up chasing the game. At home, if we get ourselves ahead, we have to learn from that and make it count. I still think Rangers should have enough quality to win this tie. We're at home, it's only a 1-goal deficit and we know exactly what we have to do. I just wish I could say that with a little more confidence. 3 competitive games without a victory, defensive problems and now injuries beginning to pile up isn't exactly the preparation I wanted. Maybe Thursday is finally the night where everything clicks. At some point this Rangers team has to give us a reason to believe that it will. The first goal is absolutely massive. If Rangers get it, I fancy us to go on and win the tie. If Jagiellonia get it, I think we could be in for an extremely uncomfortable night. There's no need for anything complicated. Play with intensity, be aggressive without becoming reckless, get the ball forward quicker and stop giving away stupid goals. Get through this tie, get that first win under McInnes, and maybe we can finally start talking about the season moving forward rather than another Rangers disaster.